Under regular circumstances, we would be inviting you to attend one of our planned in-person celebrations for our 25th anniversary as a professional Canadian contemporary dance company based in Saskatoon. We would be telling you all about the amazing guest artists we have worked hard to develop relationships with over the past 25 years, and that we have arranged to come to Saskatoon to help us celebrate this landmark year. We would be excited to announce many public appearances in conjunction and partnership with major institutions like the Saskatoon Symphony Orchestra, the Regamey Gallery, and the Saskatoon Public Library. All of these things have been put on hold. The party is postponed, but it's not canceled. We would like to recognize the hard work and dedication of our staff and dancers that has been shelved. At the same time, we also recognize the optimism, energy, and patience of our performers for learning this choreography through remote rehearsals via Zoom and coming together very briefly to finalize the work they will share with you this evening. It's a truly remarkable thing for a small contemporary dance company to survive and thrive for 25 years in Canada, and it's even tougher right now. During this time, we're working to constantly adapt and learn new skills while our art form stands at the precipice we have never encountered before. The face of performing arts fields have changed in the blink of an eye, and they'll continue to do so with repercussions for perhaps years to come. We, as a company, are working to find ways to continue to hone our crafts and maintain our artistic practice amidst an environment that is less than encouraging, and to overcome unusual elements such as physical distancing and closures and limitations placed on rehearsal and venue spaces. We as artists feel that this is a time to learn about our humanity and creative processes. Even as we mourn the loss of years of work that has been unable to come to fruition due to circumstances beyond anyone's control, we also celebrate the new versions of dissemination that we have discovered. It's a time to weather storms we did not see coming. It's a time to reach out to our communities for support and encouragement, and to hope that the joy we have brought them over the past 25 years is remembered. And so, we shall dance. We shall work to invent new ways of engaging with our artists, audience, sponsors, and supporters. We shall endeavor to create current and relevant commentary on the state of the world and the state of the arts through generating new work and finding innovative ways to disseminate it. We shall be open to transitioning through new methods and creative thinking processes. We shall continue to be a voice for dance artists in Canada and strive to bring their creations forward. And so, we shall dance. Hello, good evening. Thank you all very much for joining us for the first ever live stream performance by Free Flow Dance Theatre Company. I just have a few thank yous that I would like to mention. First of all, a big shout out to Nathan, who is behind all the tech tonight and all weekend, who's helped us to enable this, this performance to be able to happen. Also, thank you to Ken Greenhorn, our photographer, and also to our lovely hosts Lorraine and Ross for their beautiful space to perform in, and of course our funders, Saskatchewan Arts Board, and our title sponsor, AODBT Architecture and Interior Design. We wouldn't be here without those folks, so thank you very much to them. I'd like to invite the dancers to come on over and grab a seat. Come on and join us. And we wanted to let you know that if you have any questions about the performance, if you're on the YouTube channel, you can open up the chat. I think Nathan's going to keep an eye on the chat for us. Come on in a little closer here. We're trying to socially distance a little bit. We'll fix this camera. So I think Nathan is going to check out the YouTube live stream to see if there are any questions for us this evening, and we'll try to answer some questions for you. So what do you think, Nathan?
This is amazing, bravo, stunning. Those are the comments.
Any questions on the live stream so far?
No.
No. Okay. Well, if nobody has any questions, I am happy to talk about Free Flow for a little bit. As I said, this is our 25th anniversary this season. It's quite a feat to make it to 25 years as a dance company in Canada. So we're very thrilled about that. Despite the pandemic, we've been trying to work as much as we can. It's been interesting times. Maybe I can get the dancers to just briefly introduce themselves and say hello and their name and a little something.
Okay, I'm Kyle. Hello, Kyle Syverson. It is a pleasure to perform this piece outside here in the yard with the breeze and the trees and the clouds floating by. So I hope you enjoyed it out there. It was very enjoyable live here.
Great. Thank you, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and it was great to actually be able to perform for our little crowd and for our YouTube, and it's great to actually perform together because for the first part we were just doing Zoom rehearsals, so it's great to actually be in person finally.
Yeah, Zoom rehearsals are tricky, but we managed to set all of the choreography on Zoom without ever actually being in the same room together, so that was interesting. Totally a first for me in my 25-year career as a choreographer. And then our third member of our cast here.
Yes, my name is Mitchell Larsen, and yeah, it was really fun to be able to actually perform something in person and over the live stream. I think one of the fun things about rehearsing remotely was that I got to perform this piece on my deck while my neighbors were kind of trying to watch over their fences. Sometimes it would rain and I would be underneath the cover, and it was quite magical. Yeah, but it's nice to be able to perform it for people.
Yeah, all the neighbors are wondering, what are they doing with these?
Cool.
Everybody had their own little pod at their home. So
There's a question from Diane. It says, can you tell us a little more about the inspiration behind the performance?
okay, great. So Diane wants to know a little bit more about the inspiration behind the performance. The piece is titled Pods. It is inspired by basically plants. A few years ago when I was creating this piece, I had bought a bunch of pole beans, and I think Kyle, you were there during that time. All of the dancers got to go outside with me every time we had a rehearsal to look at the pole beans, to see how they had grown, to see how they were moving in the wind, and to see how they were twirling around their posts as they got bigger and as the leaves unfolded. And so we really created our movement vocabulary based on the movement that we recognized in plants over a fairly extended period of time. When we started putting it together with the costuming, it became a very sort of otherworldly, sort of slightly alien feeling creature very magical being. We're not sure if they're plants or they're animals. I guess we like to leave a little bit up to the imagination.
Another question is, can the dancers see each other when they are in their pods? How do they cue their timing?
Oh, great. Kyle, do you want to answer this one?
Sure. Yep. So it depends on the light. We can see a little bit. I can see a little bit. Actually, I'll speak for myself because I don't have anyone else's viewpoint. So partly it's musical, and sometimes I can see a little bit. Can you see?
It depends on how stretched out the fabric is, because the more it's stretched out, like the more you can see through it. And it kind of depends on the angle with the lighting, and I think the different colors depend too.
How's your pod?
Yeah, it really depends on where the sun is at that particular moment for me. I'd say I generally am listening mostly to musical cues. But there's moments where I can catch a glimpse and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where we are, all right.
I think it's interesting because the dancers do memorize the music, and it is quite atmospheric. So memorizing atmospheric music is very different than memorizing music with a consistent and obvious beat. But they do have the skill set to memorize sort of more obscure musical elements, which is great. So we know all the sound effects inside and out in all of that music, every ding and every bell and every bass line, from listening to it a lot. Anything else coming up in the live feed there, Nathan?
No.
Anybody in our little live audience have any questions they would like to ask? You're welcome to, Lorraine. The music is by Lisa Gerard. And she used to perform with a group called Dead Can Dance, and this is one of her solo albums. Anybody else have any questions that they would like to ask?
How long has each person done this form of dance?
Oh, how long have people been training and performing? Maybe I'll start with Mitchell.
Yeah, I started dancing kind of more seriously actually in high school, so I definitely came at it later in life. And then I went to university for musical theater, which had a large dance component. And then I think I must have been dancing with Free Flow for about
2015?
2014, 2015. So about like 5 to 7 years in there. Yeah.
And Rachel?
I started taking like tap, jazz, ballet classes when I was 4, then progressed into like all different other kinds of dance, and then now I've been with Free Flow for 3 years.
3 or 4 years. She's been around for a while.
Yeah, so that's a good part of my life.
Kyle?
Well, I've actually performed this piece before, because the piece itself was created, as Jackie said a while ago, with the full beans, and it's had a couple different casts. So I was in one of the casts, and that's already maybe 6 years ago that I was in it.
Yeah, I think you were in the second draft of the piece, and that was about 6 years ago. So, this is one of our most popular pieces. It gets requested quite often, because I think the unusual elements of the trampolines, having the little mini trampolines inside the costume. It also fits into a lot of spaces because it doesn't travel around, doesn't have a lot of locomotor activity. So it gets requested a lot. It's very ambient and beautiful. And we have performed it in a number of unusual locations, including back alleyways. We performed as a guest group at a Latin dance show one time with this beautiful piece, and I think it was quite surprising to people, but also a great way to get a little bit out there about contemporary dance and what we're doing. Nothing coming through the live feed. Wow. Well, thank you very much. We won't keep you going if nobody has any more questions, but if you do, feel free to post in the live feed in the next couple seconds, or you can always send us an email from our website, and our website is www.freeflowdance.com. You can find us there. If you would like to make a donation, you can find us on Canada Helps which is Canada's biggest online platform for charities, registered charities in Canada. It's a great platform to be a part of because you can support all of your favorite charities in one location, and they will supply you with an emailed tax receipt. So we recommend that site for people. I do want to say thank you very much and congratulations to all of my dancers tonight. I'm very, very happy and proud to be working with such talented and lovely people. And thank you again to Nathan and all the folks backstage. Thank you to Ross for mowing this lovely lawn for us, and for Lorraine for enabling everything to come together, including hooking us up with internet service. We really appreciate all of the behind the scenes help that we get making this happen for you. And thank you to our audience for coming.